Grand Rising Soul Tribe. Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, the comments, generous donations, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's go ahead and ring the bell. Let's clear out this energy, and then we're going to see what the message the Spirit has for us this morning, or whenever you happen to see this. You know, you were supposed to be the sacrificial lamb. You were supposed to have been the scapegoat, the one that they sacrificed. They placed all their sins on you and they sacrificed you, and they would be set free because you was no longer going to be here. You were no longer going to be here to tell the tale, to get everything straight, to uh, to be honest with everything. But it didn't work like that because God had a different plan for you. This is what people don't realize, the power of God. Hey, Ayana, Grand Rising to you. People don't realize the power of God and how strong that is in our lives. As long as we give our life over to God, as long as we trust in Him. The people that trusted in this karmic, who was working with the devil, those people are now afraid for their life. They don't know what to do. They don't know where it's coming, but they know something is coming and they're afraid. Bottom of the deck. 10 of Cups. This could be about a family. This family that wanted to take you out. And they were willing to do so at all costs. They didn't care. They lacked foresight. But now they have a lot of hindsight. High lies never stuck. And they're watching you. They're watching that the wheel of fortune turn in your favor. They're watching Dharma take place in your life. And they're also looking out for karma to come into their life. You know, ever since you walked away, all those lies that they said, all that everything that was hidden started coming out. They expected you to come back, but you didn't. You turned your life around. You turned your back on them, and everything seemed to balance out for you. You know, everybody could see that all of that, all those attacks against you. You know, you battled them all. You won the war. It's like no matter how many people was there, they could not come up against you. You know, and these are people these are warlocks and witches that felt like they had a lot of power over you, that they was just going to ruin your life. But see, these are the same people that did not have any loyalty to you, and they lied on you time and time again. But now, like, somebody's starting to see something. And somebody not just see something, they're also somebody is looking back at you. And this is a page. They're looking back at you because they're noticing something. What they're noticing is, you know what, how they had this idea, how they was going to come against you. It didn't work. It did not work. Now someone is understanding because they're looking back and they're looking at it may have been something that you had said, something that you had wrote, some type of message or something. I feel like that's what it was. You gave somebody a message that kind of stopped them in their tracks. And they're looking at what they put into it, how they came against you, how they were just in that devilish energy, how they got others to come up against you, and now, and they thought that, you know, whatever they was going to do was going to tear you down, was going to hurt you to the core. But now they're reconsidering. They're reconsidering because they see that you were able to protect yourself. You were able to stand 10 toes down for yourself, by yourself. They see that you, like you had everything that you needed to create the life that you wanted. It's like this person is looking at you as you magically transformed into some empress. It wasn't a magical transformation. This was God. You know, this King of Pentacles, they were somebody that felt like they had all the tricks up their sleeve. You know, like they can command somebody to do something and it would happen. Like I command this person to lose everything. And then, because this is something that somebody's done before, several times before. That's why they felt like they could command something. You know, I command this. This is something that they had learned from someone else in their family. They watched somebody else rule with an iron fist. And that's what they wanted for themselves, to be able to rule with this iron fist. But see, they saw this person do that while they were here in the 3D. But what they did not see was when that person that they learned this from crossed over, passed away, the hell that soul went through. Hey, Melissa. See, somebody didn't realize that no matter what they said, no matter what they did to you, it was not going to work, because confirmation, you were always blessed with God's love. You were always blessed with gifts that God gave to you. And now this person is starting to see this because it's out in the open. This person wanted to ruin you know, your finances. They wanted to take you down. They wanted you to be sick. They wanted you to be sorry. They wanted you to be left out, you know, all alone without any place to go. They wanted you to be on the street. And they're realizing now it's not happening. See, people are waking up. I feel like this is because we have 2 3s, 3 of Pentacles and 3 of Cups. People are waking up as to who they worked with, as to who they supported, you know, and I feel like this was like this coven, or they celebrated so early, thinking that, yeah, you know, you were commanded to lose your life. You were commanded to be the sacrifice. They celebrated too soon, because what they didn't see was how connected you were to spirit, how in tune you were. See, everything is mirroring back to this person now. We got 51 in the chat and 15 likes. Everything is mirroring back. 51, 15. They thought that they had a command over you that you were just going to lay down and die, only to find out that all you did was call on spirit. All you did was exercise your spiritual gifts. All you did was say, "Not today, Satan." And now this person is understanding that they are the ones that are receiving everything that they wanted you to receive. Hey, the soul archetype. Archangel Michael came down and called judgment on everybody, especially who the one that thought that they can command you to be the sacrificial lamb. Hey, Addie, how are you? You know, there was somebody else, could have been a mother figure, and she knows she needs to apologize. But you know, in the pre-shuffle, the Knight of Cups kept coming in reverse. Even though I picked it up, first it fell on the floor in reverse. I picked it up and I put it back in the deck, and I continued to, meditate and do my pre-shuffle, and it came out again in reverse. I turned it right back, right side up again, and put it back on the deck, and it came out again in reverse. This mother figure refuses to apologize, and she's refusing to apologize because I feel like, you know what? I feel like she got in the middle of a relationship. She got in the middle of a relationship. Also, she left you out. She gave you less than, as opposed to equal. It's like she was doing her own dirt. Somebody else was the father figure commanded. She was doing her own dirt, But now it's like they are under investigation. Both of them under spiritual investigation. Because what they thought that they was going to do, they thought that they were going to get their wish fulfillment to take you out. That's not happening. It's coming right back around to them. See, what they was so happy, what they wished for you is coming right back around on them. Everybody that they worked with is literally biting their nails, chewing off their cuticles, biting their lip, getting chapped lips and everything because they are afraid of what is coming for them. I am. Hello, I am forever hated. You were so loved. Yes, this was a couple. This was a demonic couple. This Queen and King of Wands. They were both in the dark arts, if you want to call it art. They were both into black magic. They both sold their souls to the devil. But see, what they did was they tried to tear you down because you were the star. They wanted to actually tear you down. Because you were the star. But you know what happened instead? They're being torn down. And you are just being led to calmer waters. It's like you was their karma and they didn't even realize it. You was their karma. They were trying to do you wrong and you brought the shit to them. They came for you, but they should have loved you. And now you had to do what you had to do. Somebody tried to make a command of your life, and God had you command it back to them. Now they're trying to plan, what they can do to save face, what they can do to, trying to say, well, how can we keep this so it doesn't get out? They don't want the word to get out. They're trying to protect themselves. They're trying to see what they can do just to hold on. Absolutely, positively nothing. They're finding themselves out in the cold. And see, someone else that they wanted to work with, this person, this person at first was working with them, but I feel now this person is no longer working with them, no longer has this King of Cups is no longer listening to them, because they're no longer making sense. The proof, it's like this King of Cups is looking at you and is looking at them and looking at you and looking at them and asking, wait, this don't even make sense. If this was supposed to have been the sacrifice, why is the sacrifice getting better? And if y'all was supposed to have been the true blue real deal, why are y'all getting worse? See, that King of Cups is starting to remember now about this whole family situation, and things are coming back. And it's not so much that these memories are coming back from this King of Cups life as it is now, but it's from the life that they had before and the life that they had before. So now memories are starting to come back about previous lifetimes. And this is why this King of Cups is like, no, I'm no longer going to give my cup of love or listen to this king and this queen of wands, these witches. Yes, I feel like this King of Cups has left and exercised their faith, has stepped out in faith themselves, and has closed this cycle, decided that it was time to learn the lesson, time to close this cycle so that they didn't have to repeat this same lesson in the next life, because now they are understanding who they are, and who they are is the emperor. They are now claiming their emperor status because they realize they were just acting as a pawn to some people who were trying to take you out. Hey, Robert. Hey, Lorraine. They were just being a pawn to some people that were trying to take you out. They had to wake up. They had to finally wake the fuck up. It's like they had their head in the sand or something. And maybe somebody had said something, they heard something, they read something, they watched something, but something clicked. Finally, it clicked. This person feels like they were drugged. They don't know, where they kind of feel like they were drugged. I'm seeing 99 and 33. Like they're trying to put this, why did I choose this? Well, what was it about this offer? What was it about that? But now they're realizing, I feel like that, that they had a spell put over them. Hey, Sonny, how are you, sweetie? This is why this person is now taking steps to protect themselves. They have put up blockages. They have, leaving people on red. They're not responding to calls, to text messages, or nothing like that. They are protecting themselves because they realize that karma is here, and this person now realizes they're going to have to work through their karma, the part that they played. Somebody wants to rush in to you because they're realizing you are their Queen of Cups, that you were always very spiritual. You were always the one that said, okay, let me pray for you, trust in God, pray this, that, and the other. And they would see you praying. And, and it's whenever this person started, whenever they were under this spell and they saw you praying, they were thinking, oh, it's never gonna hurt, it's never gonna work. Who is the Queen of Cups praying to? Now they realize who you were praying to. God. Somebody wants to rush in. They want to rush in and they want to say something, because now it's like they are, in their feelings, they are stressed, and they woke up. Now that they woke up, they confirmation, they've awakened, and now that they've awakened, they realize what the fuck they've done. They're sitting here trying to grapple with the who was I, and I, why did I act like this? It's almost like somebody realized that they were on the wrong track, the track to being a full-blown narcissist. And maybe somebody even had to do some researches to find out what truly is a narcissist. What are the characteristics? What are the traits? What are the things that they would do? How did they survive? And then this person even had to realize that they were a fucking flying monkey. See, it's like, because this person realized that these narcissists, this witch and this warlock, they wanted your gifts, they wanted your spiritual gifts, but you know what? Somebody was promised all of this money. They was promised your inheritance, and they see that was a lie. There's no way that they can get your inheritance, because guess what? These narcissists didn't give you your inheritance. What you have is coming from God. They can't stop it. That's why they was looking at you, looking at them, looking at you, looking at them. And the shit that they were saying about you wasn't making sense. How are they stopping you whenever you keep getting more and more and more, and their shit keeps going less and less and less? So that's whenever somebody said, this just don't fucking make sense. That's when they realized that they needed to be with you. God urged them to be with you. They got to get back on that right track. They know that they have to go through that karma. They have to, and see, I feel like this person is not approaching you right now. They want to passionately come in. They want to come in with the quickness, but they know that they have to deal with that shit first. And yes, and they feel trapped right now. They know that they have to deal with that shit first before they can come to you. Hey, create Grand Rising. Y'all, and also like for the members that I'm doing bracelets for, I'm just reordering some supplies. So I'm waiting on that to come in. Once they come in, then I will go ahead and make the bracelets. But everyone's is going to be specific for them. There's not going to be two that are alike. Okay? What's the message, Spirit? So I didn't want y'all to think I forgot. Okay, Shelly? And lies never stuck. I know that I'm waiting on your address. Yes. See, somebody realizes now that they have to put in the hard work, just like you put in the hard work. And this person wants to celebrate you. They want to celebrate you for your intelligence. They want to celebrate you for being so connected. Hey, J. Mike. They want to celebrate you for telling the truth. There's not one, this person is realizing there is not one time that you ever lied to them about anything. They was just under some type of spell that they couldn't hear anything that you were saying. But it's whenever their life started hitting rock bottom, and they was like, I don't understand. I was promised all the riches and the gold and the glory, but I'm not getting that. All I'm doing is getting shit. All I'm doing is having legal problems. All I'm doing is having car problems. Now I'm having home problems, and I'm having this problem and that problem, and my money is funny. Now that this person has started to wake up, because the spell that was placed upon them, confirmation, has started to wear the fuck off. Hey, K Hyphy, how are you? What's the message, Spirit? Yes. And they know that they needed to support you. You're the one, like I said, that they needed to be at home with, because you're the one that feels like home. You're the one who always had their back. You're the one who always gave them good advice, truthful advice, honest advice. Had them to look at things and talk things out with you. Had them to they wasn't sitting there giving the worst advice. They was you was the one who was like, okay, well, wait a minute, let's think about this. Let's think about the first part, the second part, and the possible endings. Not just, oh, it's going to go that way, I'm commanding it, and it's going to go this way. No, you had this person think about, okay, well, let's just say if you do this action and this action, it doesn't necessarily have to be this reaction. It could be this reaction. It could be this reaction. It could be this catastrophic reaction. See, somebody is starting to really understand what you were saying. Think about everything. Don't just think about, you just see you want it to go this way, so you banking on it to go that way. Like you putting up all these roadblocks, and somebody else decided they don't even want to they don't even travel in a car. They're gonna go in a plane. Well, you put all these damn roadblocks up, and they get in the plane, and they go all the way over all the roadblocks, and they still make it to the end. What's the message, Spirit? See, somebody they was thinking about this. Hey, Shaylin, Grand Rising. Hey, Jasmine, how are you? Jasmine, Serena, live, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's the message, Spirit? Yes. See, now somebody is understanding the curse that was placed upon you, and how they was thinking that they was gonna get out of something, and how them being a party of it got them stuck. Now they're trying to figure out what they need to do so that they can get unstuck, so that they can be with you again. This person has had an awakening. Oh my gosh, they have had an awakening to the fact that you are a star. You are the born star. You are the only star, and you were the one that they should have been protecting. See, everything that goes on in the dark always comes to the light. And this person is realizing that everybody that worked in secret against you, everybody that worked in secret against you is now receiving karmic justice. Nobody is exempt. Everyone, this person is realizing that you are an earth angel, and the universe will always balance itself. Always. I'm telling you, somebody wants to come towards you so much. They want to come towards you today, but they're holding back. They have to hold back. The universe is holding them back because they have to deal with whatever it is that they need to deal with. And they're thinking about how they came against you. I don't know if you can see this little box right here where it's these people fighting. And it wasn't really somebody fighting. It was them fighting against other people. They were fighting against themselves. Now somebody's understanding that, you know what, they are there to actually fight against principalities. Realizing that they should have been fighting with you, should have been trying to protect you, stand up for you. Because you know what? You are the one that's their family. You're the one that has these spiritual gifts. You're the one who has everything to lose. Whereas who they were trying to side with, they don't have shit to lose. That's why they can act so fucking reckless, because they ain't got shit to lose. Yeah, you hear about the people that are, in prison, and they're in prison for life. They do some horrible things in there, and it's not going to make it any worse. They're already locked up for life. But the person that has a week left, that's the ones that they're going to come after, because they have a lot to lose. They just got to keep it together for that last fucking week. You was able to get out of whatever they tried to take you down with. They tried to tend to sword you. They tried to unalive you, but you was able to walk away. You walked away before it ever happened. You knew that this group was coming up after you. You knew that they had this plan. You knew that they were trying to be sneaky with it. You knew what they was trying to do. And you knew that they was trying to keep it hush, hush. They didn't want you to know. But you had already known. You saw it already. You saw it, you sensed it, you felt it. You heard them talking about it. You heard them planning it. How they wanted to take you down, how they wanted to disrupt you being so independent, how they wanted to, hurt your job or hurt your money or hurt whatever it was that you had going on. You heard it. You knew it. You had been through it. See, this whole idea of secretly planning to do this, even though it was taking a while, it was never going to work. God stepped in. God stepped in. Oh my gosh. We got the Hierophant, the Strength card, Justice, Temperance, and the Chariot. Okay. This is God stepping in and wielding that almighty sword of truth. Okay? The almighty sword. When God speaks, everybody listens. Even the person who commanded. That's the one who got scared the first. Because at this point, this person realized you was an earth angel and could nothing stop you, because God was moving you forward. Oh my God. Literally, thank you, God. And now this person, they are sitting here like going crazy, losing it. This person probably ain't slept in a couple of days. They probably ain't even eating right, because you said something to them. You wrote something to them. They heard you, or whatever. The message got to them. But they cannot ever take you down. They cannot ever stop you. In fact, not only that, you were so trying to guide them in the right direction, letting them know it's not too late for them to turn their life to God. That's whenever they knew that you knew. That's when they was convinced they was fucked. What's the message, Spirit? That's when they really got scared. And anybody and everybody that worked to support them got scared too. Everybody got scared. Thank you, J Mike. J Mike put 1010 in the comments. Oh, thank you so very much, Jasmine. Thank you. Yes, the year of 9 is over. Exactly. Yep. All those attacks that they sent out to you is coming back to them. Everything is coming back to them. And this King of Cups knows that whatever was going on before, that shit is over. That King of Cups is remembering all the love that you put into them. They're remembering that, you know what, it's like you had that unconditional love. You had this compassion. You had this big heart. You never gave up. You never went the wrong way. You never tried to do anyone wrong. These memories are starting to come back. Confirmation, if you can hear my baby in there. And they feel like a fool for trying to go against you. Soul Archetype said it's 11:11 there. They feel like a fool for trying to go against you. They realized that they were just being very immature. Immature, thinking that this plan was going to work. That hey, they was going to be able to. They was going to be able to be the next person that would command something. They now that they was just being very immature. They had these dreams, these wishes that they was going to get, your gifts, but that was just a dream. That was just a wish. That was not the truth. Somebody had to get real with themselves. They had to be honest. They had to stop lying to themselves. They were trying to lie to themselves so much that they were trying to make themselves believe their own fucking lie. How do you believe a lie when you know it's a fucking lie and you're the one that lied? How does that happen? See, this is why this person's life was going to hell in a handbasket. This is why everything that they had worked so hard for in the past and they had accomplished with you was being taken away. Because they decided that they wanted to work with this coven. They decided that they wanted to work with somebody who commanded, they're gonna start a war against you. Everybody's gonna attack the collective. But now they're finding out that whatever they did, they got caught up. They're the ones that's now out in the cold. They trapped themselves. This is somebody who put themselves in this for their own making. They understand now they was just being young, dumb, and full of cum. And that was it. That was it. There was no thought put into it. There was no truth or consequence. There was no, well, what if it don't work like that? See, somebody was thinking very one-sided. They was allowing themselves to think, act, and behave like a fucking narcissist until they started waking the fuck up. Realizing that there was a whole lot of shit that they needed to wake up and really see. And being your hidden enemy was not one of the things that they should have been trying to deal with. This person is on now. They're trying to figure out, how did they not see that you was a whole earth angel the entire time? How did they not see that you were so balanced in everything that you prayed and things happened. You pray, God, make a way out of no way, and boom, here it is, a way out of no way. See, this person, that it's like they stopped. They had to start praying. They had to start praying so that they could become enlightened, because they realized that the shit that they was doing that was going the wrong fucking way, especially when you walked away and you took all the happiness with you. This is when this person realized they were fucked up. Because you know what? They was not happy with that King of Wands. That King of Wands was stressing them the fuck out. You know, they feel like a fool. They feel foolish. They thought that King of Wands was going to give them everything that you gave them. No, they feel and they look like a fool. You know, they see now that they was lied to while they were sitting there lying on you. Like, how did I miss it? How did I miss that there was a whole earth angel in my presence? Because there was a spell that was cast upon them. They allowed themselves. They found out that they was not ever a leader, that they still had to mature because they was too busy being a follower. And now they have to go through it in order for them to be able to come back to you. And they have to even contend with the idea, even if I can only come back and apologize, I still want to make that apology. They still want to apologize. They want to tell you something. They want to tell you about all the lies that was spread about you. Everybody that said everything and how they didn't realize they was being part of this coven. You know, like this person couldn't realize that they was being a part of a fucking coven. They didn't realize what black magic was. They didn't realize that you know, when you walking around and you listening to gossip and you spreading the gossip, you know, that's that witch shit. That's that black magic shit. That's not, oh, we all doing what God wants us to do. Because God never said to go around spreading lies about anybody else. God never said to put somebody else's business in the fucking street. God didn't say that shit. This is why this person is feeling left out in the cold, and they know it's because of what they did. They can't sit here and remember one time when you were sitting there saying, oh, honey, let me tell you about this and let me tell you about that. Oh, no, we're not talking about me. We talking about them. You never did that shit. If anything, you was telling somebody about the shit that you did, the shit that you experienced, the shit that you grew through, so that they can go through to grow through as well. And, you know, like I said, this person, even if they can only come back to apologize and you still don't want nothing to do with them, they're going to take that chance because now this person is realizing, you know, they're thinking about you and the past, and they're realizing they should have chose you. So this person is taking responsibility for their life, and they're not trying to blame it all on you. This is what these narcissists want to do. They want to sit there and everything bad that they want to go through, that they go through because of their own making, they want to sit there and say, well, it's the collector's fault. How am I to blame for this happening? You know, why is collector to blame for your car breaking down? Why is collector to blame for, you know, you losing your job? Why is collector to be blamed for any of that shit? Your relationship's failing. Like, somebody had to realize it's time for them to take responsibility for themselves and not project it all on you. Because that's just a lie. It's just a lie. What's the message, Spirit? Yes, this person is really thinking about how they fucked the pooch this time. You know, they went against everything that was good for them in their life. How they screwed the pooch. whenever they should have been there with you, because you were the one who loved them. And now that they've woken up in the morning, like they say, you're going to hate yourself when you wake up in the morning when you doing that fuck shit. Well, guess what? It's the morning. And they woke up and they realized they was doing all that fuck shit, trying to place this curse against the Empress. And you the only one that they was ever happy with. The only one that they considered home. We're not talking about that mailing address. We're talking about being comfortable, being able to sleep comfortable around somebody, and now we have to wake up to think, okay, is somebody else trying to take me for my money? Because see, they realized somebody was money hungry. And it wasn't you. This is when this person had to realize it was time for them to grow the fuck up. Man up. Become the emperor. Take control of their own life instead of listening to somebody else control it for them. Oh, they regret all of this. And I'm telling you, if they could sit there and ask you to help them now, they would. But you know what? They sat there and said that they didn't even believe that you had these gifts. They discounted your spirituality. They said, oh, that shit is fake. They don't feel like it's fake now. Now they don't feel like that shit is fake. They feel like this shit is real. If they could turn back the hands of time, trust and believe, they would. They would never, ever go against you. If they could see back then everything that they see now, it's a big difference. Foresight and hindsight, two totally different things. See, they refused to see when somebody was telling them to give you less than. They refused to see what type of energy that was. What was really behind the mask. And they realized now that was just the devil. They was promised to get more than you. They see that was the devil trying to taunt them. The devil was coming in, and the devil said, oh, I know exactly what this person wants. This person wants to have money. And it could have been somebody grew up really poor. Maybe they didn't have a lot when they was growing up. And so they promised themselves, when I get grown, I'm going to have money. Money, 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 money. Well, that was all that was on their mind. And the devil said, I know how to get this simp. We're going to get him we're going to promise some money. You want this money, don't you? You want this money? All you got to do is go against the collective. They was like, what? That was it? You're going to be rich. I'm going to give you everything that you want. Just go against the collective. And they was like, oh, okay, yeah. The minute they went against you, the devil was like, psych. They understand and they feel how this karma feels. And this ain't no good feeling for them. Karma, she pulled up. She jumped out that car. She got her whooping stick and her whip, and she went to town. She started whooping ass. She started taking name. She tore everything down. She was breaking TVs. She was busting windows out the car. She was knocking down walls. The girl was doing it shit. She was burning clothes. She was ripping up shoes. And she was daring the motherfucker to get in her motherfucking way. All because somebody wanted money. She said, do it again here. Do it again. I dare you to. I'm telling you, the person who started this shit, they are afraid of you. Yes. Because you know what? Like I said, this King of Cups, when they woke up, they found out that they was out in the cold. You know, that they didn't have no shoes. That if they did, they had two right shoes and no left shoes. Who can wear two right shoes? Nobody. You know, they didn't have what they needed. And it wasn't nobody that said, oh, I got your back. I got your back. Shh, shh, shh. Go on with that. You're going with that. I got you. We got you. We right here. We right here. It was not right there at all. That's whenever they realized they got themselves stuck trying to come up against you. Talk about learning a lesson. Woo! Woo-wee, Bruce Lee. Somebody learned a motherfucking lesson that they won't ever forget. Ever forget. Karma said, forget this shit. I want you to, because I know where you gonna be. Even if you homeless on the streets, I'm gonna come tear your ass up on the fucking corner for everybody driving by to see. And dare them to stop and help you. I'm gonna dare them to help you. Confirmation. See, somebody blocked their own spiritual gifts too for coming up against you. They blocked their own shit. This is why this person had to drop to their knees and pray to God. They had to apologize to God. They had to just say, that's why they realized they had to turn their back on everything and everybody that suckered them. They had to be true. They had to say the truth out loud to God, because God said, no. I want to hear it, motherfucker. We ain't just going to sit here and you go, oh, I learned my lesson. No, I want to hear all the lessons that you learned. Okay, spell them out. You start with number 1, go to number 130. I want to hear every single fucking lesson that your ass learned. And they did. They knew they didn't have a choice. They had to get some shit straight. Especially if they wanted God's love back. That's whenever, after they was able to express it out loud, be truthful with themselves, stop messing around with the fucking devil, stop being a fucking flying monkey, stop sitting here being part of this coven, turn your motherfucking back on what you know is wrong and go towards what you know is right. That's when God said, that's when I'm going to move you forward. But I'm not moving you forward until then. Until you can learn to protect yourself and protect what you know is right. Do the right thing at all fucking times. At all fucking times. Judgment is being called all the damn time. Telling you, somebody, they want to come and apologize to you. They want to come and apologize to you. They want to let you know they ended all that dumb bullshit. That they was just being silly in the brain. They was not being pure in the heart. They was being immature. They was being insecure. They was being they was being a fucking Judas. Now somebody wants your forgiveness because they was not displaying loyalty or integrity. They know that. See, they thought that they was going to have their happiness somewhere else, but they found out they don't really like being around the motherfucking devil. Them being all in their ego, thinking that they was going to get something, they was going to be able to bypass you and get some shit. That's what got them fucked up in the first damn place. That's what got their ass left, because they refused to get right. Now they trying to figure out how the fuck they can protect themselves against this King of Wands, this warlock. Because they don't have as much power as this fucking warlock. That's why they're looking at you to see if you can give them any type of advice on how to overpower this fucking warlock. This person, they don't know, what this person know, what this person don't know. This is why they need your help. Hey, Tara. How are you, sweetie? Hey, Bert. How are you? Play stupid ass games. You win the most fucked up prizes. Shit that you don't ever want to win. Shit that you see shit you never wanted to see. You'll see shit that you didn't know what the fuck it was that you just saw. Play stupid ass games. You gonna win some stupid ass prizes. They didn't see that shit. They didn't see that shit, but you knew. And they're trying to figure out, why didn't they listen to you? Yeah, we figuring that. We trying to figure that shit out too. Why didn't you listen? They regret this shit. If they could come back today and say, "Oh my God, I just want to I want to humbly apologize to you. I want to humbly apologize to you." They would. But they know they got to go through this karma first. They got to wake all the way the fuck up. They know that they have to give to you. They got to be honest with you. Because you was the one who put in that equal give and take. And they need that. You deserve to have that back. They know that. I'm telling you, this entire coven, they all fighting. Everybody in the coven is fighting with each other because God said, "Oh, I got something for you, motherfuckers. I got something for y'all." The head of that coven, I'm like I said, the one who thought that they was in control, the one who was like, "I command this to happen," that's the one who's going to be fucked up the most. Because whatever they learned, they didn't learn all of it. Because had they learned all of it, they would have left that shit alone. They would have left that shit alone. They feel like a fool. The person who was commanding some shit, they feel like a fucking fool because all they had to do was go along and get along, and they would have been happy. They would have had everything that they needed, everything that they wanted. All they had to do was step out on faith, was to give their life over to God. But instead, And see, they knew that you was gifted from whenever you was a child. They know you've been gifted for a long time. They knew about your gifts. And instead of them saying, "You know what? Let me go ahead and encourage this person and love this person and put into this person, because then I'll have everything that I could possibly want and need and receive all the blessings and everything." No, they didn't want that. They wanted to fucking bully you, and then you walk away, You walked away from this wizard too. Hey, High Priestess, how are you? Thank you so very much. I love you so much, soul sister, as well. And everything. Yeah, I'm telling you, the Knight of Pentacles, there was no loyalty there whatsoever. No loyalty, no integrity. They didn't put into you. because they didn't feel like you was going to make it. They didn't think you was going to be able to go the long haul, that you was going to be able to outlast them. Now they upset because these secrets, oh, they didn't work. These tricks, oh, they fell through. They thought that they had all the cards. There was one card they didn't have. The fact that you was chosen by God for this. And see, you and that King of Cups, y'all was chosen for this. But the only thing is that King of Cups is not as strong as you. This is what this King of Cups now wants, is to have the strength that you have. Yeah, somebody's realizing they was not as strong as you. And they thought that numbers equaled strength. No. Numbers don't equal strength. The devil has to get a whole lot of motherfuckers just to try and take down one earth angel. This is what this person is realizing. There was one of you, but the devil, there was a whole lot of motherfucking flying monkeys. And they all could not take you down. None of them could take you down, but everybody's getting placed in spiritual jail. Everybody's getting the clink, clink handcuffs put on them. That's why that King of Cups is looking at you and looking at them. Looking at you getting blessed, looking at them getting cursed. Looking at you and the promises that God made, looking at them and the lies that the devil told. Looking at you progress, looking at them regress. You know, it's like night and day. Literally night and day. Now, this person realizes who's rich. Now they're understanding that there's so many different, several ways to be rich. It has nothing to do with the amount of coins that you got in your pockets. It has to do with your spiritual gifts. It has to do with your faith. It has to do, with a lot of things. It's not just money. They miss that whole picture. It has to do with your honesty. A lot. Not just the money. Because they were sitting there looking, thinking about you, remembering you like, damn, well, Collector, they didn't have a lot of money. Cause me and Collective, we used to be in the trenches together trying, but Collective always prayed for what it was that Collective needed, and boom, Collective's like, okay, here you go. I'm getting you this, I'm getting you that, I'm taking you here, I'm taking you there. You never was hungry, you always ate. Yeah, maybe you didn't have this game system, that game system. You didn't have all the new clothes and the new shoes and all this other shit, but you had. Bottom of the deck, sexy time. Yeah. Somebody's thinking about the closeness that they used to share with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be sex. It's just that's the cards representing that intimacy, that closeness. They're remembering the closeness that they had with you, and how you was always of service to others. That's why you was always able to manifest just by saying your prayer. God, you know what it is that I need. God, you know my heart. God this, God that. And it happened. And now this person is thinking about you and they're looking at you. You the it girl. You the one that people are like looking up to. You're the one who's doing the damn thing. You was always on your grind. You was always working towards something. And that something that you was working towards was not something to tear somebody else down to make you look better. You didn't worry about that bullshit. You worked on you. That grind that you was on, that was your own personal grind. I'm going to be better today than I was yesterday. And tomorrow I'm going to be better than I was today. And next week I'm going to be better than I was this week. That was your grind. It's not I'm going to see how I can take somebody else down. This is why this person is seeking professional help. At one point, this person told you needed to seek some professional help. You may have even told that person, remember everything. Remember them words. Remember everything that you just said, because you're going to hear it again. This time it's going to be directed at you. And lo and behold, what did they manifest? They walking in your motherfucking shoes. They having to walk not a mile. Spirit said, no, baby. Walking a mile is too good for you in somebody else's shoes. I'm going to have you walk 10 miles in them shoes. You thought that your feet was big? You thought that you wore the big shoes because you wore a size 11 and somebody else wore a size 7? You get ready to you're going to have to know what it is to curl up them damn toes to get your foot inside that size 7. Because you going to be in them motherfuckers walking for a while. Your toes going to be so motherfucking cramped that by the time you even get to your destination, you would have probably poked the toes into the front of the shoes. Yeah, somebody thought they were going to be so sneaky with you and shit was going to turn out right. Wrong fucking answer. Lies don't pay. Hey, Lilo. Hey, Bragsy. Somebody realized that the lies never pay. They wasn't gonna pay. They wasn't destined to pay. Somebody realized that they can't count on what another motherfucker say. Ever. You better always you better always follow the truth. You better always do what you need to do as opposed to giving somebody else control of your life. You fucking crazy. You lost your damn mind. You letting somebody else who got a demonic energy, who got some type of demon inside of them, who got some type of spiritually transmitted disease that was placed upon them, who got some type of generational curse that they trying to perpetuate, you giving the reins to that motherfucker? You got to be fucking crazy. Telling somebody else they need to seek guidance. You the one that need to seek some motherfucking guidance because you done gave your control away. The person that you said that needed to seek guidance, that was the one who's always been in control of their life. That was the one who always knew that God was there. That was the one who always said, okay, God, whatever you want me to do, however you want me to do it, whenever you want me to do it, I won't even question you. You say it's time to go, I'm going to go. I'm not even going to sit there. I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to keep moving forward because as long as you tell me it is time, I know it is time. I know you got my back, but I can't trust them other lying-ass motherfuckers. Justice is here. It's all good. It's all fair. Whatever you put in is what you going to get out. And now somebody sitting here, they thought that they was going to explore this option, that they was going to be able to get in your bag, and that they was going to have so much money. And, you know, they was just sitting here thinking about all the shit that they was going to do with the money because they was going to count you out. They was going to just bypass you and you know, get you on your little way, you know, give you $20 and be like, here, just spend it wisely, where they get all the rest of the shit. They releasing this motherfucking badass nightmare that they call the dream. Hey, Black, how are you? They released that fucking ass bad nightmare that at one point they called a dream. They realized they gotta start with themselves. They gotta love themselves. They gotta figure out who the fuck they truly are. And then don't be embarrassed to be themselves. They had to realize that, you know what? God is in control. God said time to grow the fuck up, boss up, and stop acting like you so afraid of somebody else. Hey, 2B Records, how are you? Now this person, they want to build this home with you. Now they want to come back to you. But see, they had to get rid of the fact of they were so worried about what somebody else thought about them. Oh my gosh, what is somebody else gonna say? Who gives a fuck? That person is dealing with their own motherfucking demons. That you don't even need to worry about the other person's demons. You need to worry about what the fuck you doing. That's what you needed to worry about. What path was you on? Because if you ain't on the right path, don't fucking follow nobody else who on the fucking wrong path. That don't make no damn sense. Can't nobody control your life if you don't give them control. Can nobody else tell you what the best thing for you to do is because it ain't they fucking life. You want the best advice? Dear God, please show me, tell me, let me be open. Show me, in signs and synchronicities or whatever, what it is. You start seeing like double numbers, triple numbers, the same number, 4. Look that shit up. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in sequence. You look that shit up. God is talking to you. And saying somebody had to realize that, you know what? God is not on the outside. They didn't have to go to no church and be like, Pastor so-and-so, do me a favor. Reach out to God and ask God. Because Pastor so-and-so don't know. What does God tell you? God is within all of us. It's time for them to ascend. It's time for them to want more so that they can reach for more. They had to go within. They had to get over heal what was hurting them, but it wasn't you. It was not you, and stop blaming you for some shit that they had to work out. Shit, we all had our own childhood drama and trauma that we had to work through. But the best thing is we work through our own shit as opposed to say, well, you know what, Timmy, I'm mad because I feel that, you did this, and Timmy, you did that, and Timmy, you did this, and you did that. Didn't nobody have no great childhood? Nobody. See, somebody was going through a lot of sleepless nights. And it may be because they know that they needed to finish some shit that they created, which is why their ass was stuck. They needed to put an end to some shit that they did, which is what got their ass stuck. And they are awakened to that now. Now they realize that, you know what? The inner strength comes from inside, going with the flow of spirit. They're looking at the community and they realize the big picture that the community was just that, just a community. They ain't the ones that got all the answers. Not at all. This is divine timing. And I'm telling you, somebody, they made fun of your spiritual gifts, but look at they ass now. Divine timing. They sitting here calling out to the same God that we called out to. They sitting there trying to use their intuition just like we did. They're doing the same thing. Because they're looking at collective like, damn, collective's life is getting better and mine is going to shit. Now they've realizing it's time for them to choose love as opposed to feeling like they got to have a whole bunch of shit that means absolutely nothing. And instead of comparing themselves to somebody else, compare themselves to who they are. Who was you yesterday? Who are you today? Look back and work on self. That way you can say, you know what? I'm so proud of myself because 5 years ago, I was doing this. 10 years ago, I was doing, and look where I'm at now. That's the comparison. Not, you don't need to compare yourself to, see, I'm so much better because I've got this, and Timmy don't have that. See, my bank account says this much, and poor Timmy. That's why I'm only going to give him $20 because he don't deserve anything else. Only to fucking find out that when you look around and you didn't compared yourself and you took your eye off the ball and off the mark and everything, and next thing you know, and you like, damn, Timmy, how you got 3 expensive ass cars and that brand new mini mansion, and you said you looking at yachts, and I'm living in the studio apartment now? How the fuck that shit happen? Don't compare yourself to somebody else. Work on you. This is why somebody looking at you because you blessed, you receiving blessings after blessings, and that's why you're so abundant. You know, somebody, they just need to work on themselves. You know, they need to work on what they feel about themselves. They got to do their shadow work. It ain't always what you look like on the outside, it's who you are on the inside. Now this person wants this fresh start, but like I said, they know they got to clean themselves all the way up. They got to start on the inside. They got to go from the Rudy to the patootie, or the pootie to the Rudy, or whatever it is. They have to go deep, 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 and they got to work in, indulge themselves in cleaning up and healing that inner child. Yes. And then on top of that, they need to study what it is to be spiritual. What's the difference between being spiritual and that religion? You know, who are they? You know, find out what you believe in, as opposed to, well, no, we've always believed in this, and it was our family's tree that always said this. What do you believe in? Who are you? That's what's called individualistic. God likes the individual. God wants somebody to be there to walk to the beat of their own fucking drum. Don't be no flying monkey like, what? Go do that. Okay, let me on flying over there and do that. You know, whatever sounds monkeys make. I don't even know. You know. Yeah, and then on top of that, it's like, you know, you have to calm yourself down and rest. You know, it's okay for you to be by yourself. It's okay for you to, you know, rest assured and know that God is going to take care of everything for you, as long as you give God the glory and stay in control of your own life, as opposed to giving out the control to somebody else, and follow your own spark. Do you, boo? Don't worry about what somebody else got to say, because it ain't them. It ain't never going to be them. They need to worry about their own self. We're going to pull like 1 or 2 of these cards. Yep. It's time for somebody to grow up and learn to be themselves. Fuck what anybody else got to say. If somebody don't like somebody that you do like, fuck them. Well, I ain't got a problem with them. Sorry. Yeah. They need to explore who they are. You know? Get that inner strength. That's more important than having the great big ass muscles. You ain't got to go to the gym 7 days a week and be in the gym 5 hours each day to have strength. You just got to pray. Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to tell somebody, no, I'm good. I don't believe in that. Don't be afraid to tell somebody, well, you know what? This person is very dear and near to me. I don't feel like that, the way that you feel. I don't see it like that. It's not that you're trying to be combative. You're just saying how you feel. There's nothing wrong in saying how you feel. Once again, God loves people that are not afraid to be themselves. All right, y'all, let me go ahead and get off of here. I'm working late today. I don't get off until 7 p.m. my time, which I don't know what time that is your time, because I don't know where everybody's at. But so I may be on later on. I may not. Just depends on how this damn day goes. It's Monday. What can we say? All right, y'all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. I appreciate all the comments, all the likes, all the shares, all the hypes, everything. I appreciate you all. And I love you all. I will see you soon. Hopefully this evening. I'm going to give me something to eat too. I love you all. Have a great Monday, okay? Bye now.